Hey everybody, let's take a look back at what Breakout was like in the year 2000. It's Breakout 2000 for the Atari Jaguar. This game takes the original Breakout into the pseudo-third dimension. It also draws some inspiration from one of Breakout's descendants, Arkanoid, by adding in power-ups and a few different kinds of blocks to break. Appropriately for a game that heralded the dawn of a new millennium, Breakout 2000 takes the flat 2D look of the original and fattens the blocks up 3D style and puts the game board at a pretty severe angle. It's a cool look, but this perspective does make the game more difficult. It's sometimes hard to tell if your ball is going to hit a block or just miss the corner of it, and even though your paddle is transparent, it's still tricky to see the ball and aim your shots. The trickiest thing of all is trying to play the game using the D-pad. It's okay, but of course you just can't get the accuracy and speed you can with a paddle. And the game doesn't have rotary control support built in like Tempest 2000 does. You can choose slow, medium, or fast paddle speed in the options, and during gameplay you can increase the speed by holding either 4 or 6 on the numeric keypad, or either the left or right shoulder buttons if you have a Pro controller. The boards are grouped into 10 phases, each consisting of 5 playfields. You start the game with 5 balls, and at the beginning of a new phase you'll be reset to 5, which is great if you lost a few along the way. Not so good if you actually had more than 5 due to grabbing an extra ball power-up. And speaking of power-ups, there's quite a number of them that do things like give you a plasma cannon, widen or shorten your paddle, make it so the ball is either attracted to or repelled by your paddle, and so on. These are dropped off by flying robo-drones, but watch out because some robo-drones actually shoot bullets at your paddle, and if you get hit too many times, you'll be destroyed. But back to power-ups. It's cool that there are a lot of different types, but it's really hard to tell them apart visually. In Arkanoid, the graphics are clear and it's easy to differentiate them, but in Breakout 2000 it's not so easy, especially considering that the game is pretty difficult and it's hard to take your eye off the ball to see what the power-up is. You'll drop whatever power-up you have when you lose a ball, but until that happens, you carry over power-ups from one playfield to the next, but not if you're moving to a new phase. You can also hold more than one power-up at a time, which can lead to imbalanced situations like this, where you have both the catch power-up and the plasma cannon. You can then just hold the ball and methodically destroy all the blocks. It's no longer Breakout at this point, it's just target practice. If you get tired of playing by yourself, Breakout 2000 has a 2-player mode, either against the CPU or a fellow human, and it's generally pretty great. The game board wraps around so that your ball can travel to your opponent's side, and if the ball reaches his paddle, he's got to play it or else lose 1,000 points. The goal in 2-player mode is just to be the first to destroy all your blocks, and then you move on to the next board. One thing I'd forgotten though, is that when one player runs out of balls, the other player gets to keep playing, even if that player is the CPU. And as near as I can tell, there's no way to stop it. Even the soft reset button combo on the keypad doesn't seem to work. There's also a good amount of choppy slowdown in 2-player mode. There is a bit of choppiness in single player, but there's a lot more here once a lot of stuff is happening on screen. It doesn't ruin the game at all, but it's kind of surprising to see it in a game of this type. Breakout 2000 also features the classic version of Breakout, which really isn't that classic here, as the graphics are kinda stretched out and weird, the ball moves slow and at unusual angles, and the sound effects are just reused from the main game. It does offer a couple options like catch and breakthrough, but really, if you've got an Atari 2600, you've probably got Breakout for it and are better off just playing that. I like Breakout 2000 a lot. I can't say it's a great game, but it could have been. Make the power-ups more distinct visually, eliminate the slowdown and choppiness, and add in rotary controller support, and this one would be awesome. As it stands, it's still a colorful and fun, but somewhat flawed experience.